Well, welcome everyone to FlatWebTV episode number 29. Every time we count these up, I get so freaked out. If you're a very astute observer, you might notice the guy on my left is not Justin. Justin is currently on the East Coast and taking a short leave of absence. He'll be back at some point. But we are lucky enough to have a true BMX head from the old school up until today. Rider, photographer, he's taken some of the most iconic pictures in BMX, Mr. Jared Sowney. So Jared, can you just introduce yourself a little bit?
I started riding in the mid-'80s, sometime around '84, and just rode a little bit of everything back then. Grew up in Massachusetts, right around Joe Johnson was like a local guy. Some people might have heard of him. He invented the tail up there. But yeah, just early on, I was just a bike rider and rode. Kind of got more focused on flatland. I sort of sucked at ramps back then, and just competed a lot in those days, and just kept going through the '90s, and then ultimately like picked up a camera and was still doing both. But at some point, it was like, which way do I go? And so I still do both, but I obviously I don't compete anymore or anything like that.
And yeah, I mean, I've seen your photographs up around the walls of your office here, and they're some of the more notable pictures.
Well, thanks.
That I've seen in BMX. You mentioned you don't compete anymore. I've been to one contest in 10 years, so I don't really compete anymore either. But today's show, we're just going to dedicate it to a contest. And it's probably the biggest one of the year. I've never seen a pro class. Never might be a strong word, but it's been a long time since I've seen a pro class this big. Of course, we're talking about Voodoo Jam. This is going down June 1st, Generations Hall, New Orleans. If you didn't know that already, then chances are you don't watch this show and don't flatland and don't do anything. But looking at that pro class, it's limited to 40 riders, so there's already guys on the waiting list. The AM class is limited to 25 riders. There's guys on the waiting list for that. You've had a chance to look at it. I've had a chance.
Pretty stacked.
What do you think?
There's a lot of good guys in there, and it's really global. It's you could literally end up with a Japanese top 10 at this, which is crazy.
Yeah, you mentioned it. It sounds kind of like a world war.
Yeah, it's like it could be like World War III. I mean, you got Canada, Germany, Japan, U.S., everything.
There's some South American riders coming to France.
So, it could be an international incident at this. It could happen.
If I put you on the spot and say,
don't make me pick a winner.
Not a winner.
Okay.
Give me 5 guys you think have a good chance to be on that podium.
Oh man, I don't know. Like, that's hard with that list. I mean, like I said, you could. It wouldn't be unheard of for that to be a 5 Japanese guy. Yeah.
You've got Terry Adams. That's his kind of hometown contest, and he's been kind of ramping up for it. He always does. You can't count out guys like Matt Wilhelm, Vicky Gomez, Jean William from Canada, Jean-Francois Bouillon from Canada. Like, there are actually every guy down that list. You're like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited to see Dominic defend his title. He won last year.
Yep.
Matt and Terry took the other 2 spots, but there's a lot of pride there to maintain your Voodoo crown.
Yeah, I mean, there's generations on that list. You've got you've got Scooter James McGraw in there from like the '80s, and
right?
You've got all the way up to guys some people have never heard of, probably.
Right.
So.
And we're not even talking about the 25 rider AM class, which is stacked full of riders who are awesome, and then the 10 or 11
the veteran class,
old guy class.
Veteran.
Yeah. I'm just gonna watch Nikola Olik win because he's the smoothest rider of all us old guys, and he just killed it at Texas Toe. So I'm just gonna watch him win and then try to get 9th or 10th place again. That'll be good enough for me. One other thing I'm really happy about, and we're about to throw to it, is an exclusive interview that we did with Scott O'Brien. Scott and Terry have kind of held down this Voodoo Jam year after year. We were lucky enough to get Scott on Skype a few days ago, so let's check that out and see what Scott had to say. All right, well, as promised, we are going to get to our Scott O'Brien Voodoo Jam interview. But before we do so, as we started last month, we want to recognize Ephraim's Flat Matters Video Pick of the Month. And this month, Ephraim's pick is a little bit unusual, more of a concept edit. It is Takuji Kasahara's April 20th edit. It's two combos, awesome combos. The way he gets into his first combo is really cool and intricate. But Ephraim picked this one because of the way that his second combo, when played backwards at the end of the edit, is basically a mirror image of itself. You know, the way it starts is the way it ends and so forth. So great work, Takuji, good job, and look forward to next month's Ephraim pick of the month. Now, as promised, I'm getting Scott O'Brien here on Skype. It is a Voodoo prep show, so let's start with this. Hey, Scott. First of all, how are you? How you doing?
You guys doing? What's going on over there?
You've got less than a month away for Voodoo Jam. How's the preparation going? Are you getting ready?
Yeah, man, we're getting hyped up. We're getting ready. We're really pleased with all the rider response and sign up and all the volunteers that have stepped up and all the people that have come together and as a Flatland family and donated items and money and hard work and effort. We're pleased with the Flatland community that's just coming together for Voodoo Jam. We're very excited.
Well, for anybody who doesn't know and hasn't been on the internet, can you kind of rattle off the details of Voodoo Jam?
Okay, well, Voodoo Jam is going to be June 1st in New Orleans, Louisiana. It'll be our 7th annual Voodoo. We've been doing this since '04. We skipped a few years here and there to kind of spread things out a little bit. We have a weekend of festivities as well. So on May the 31st, we'll have the pre-jam. And I'm sure we'll be doing stuff all weekend. So it's just going to be a great time, a wonderful celebration of Flatland, I like to call it.
Well, it's definitely going to be a special weekend. Riders from all over the world. Don't know how many riders that are not even registered are going to be there, but who are you expecting from all over the globe?
Well, as of right now, we have about 12 countries represented. So I'm very pleased with that. I'm really excited. We have 11 of the 16 Circle of Balance riders will be at the Voodoo Jam. So that's really rad. Like, really stoked on that. I have to be honest, man. I'm most excited that Hiro Morisaki's coming. It was a surprise for me to see that he was coming. And I'm also really pleased for the first time. We have Kotaro Tanaka's going to be coming. And I'm a big Kotaro fan. I've been watching him for years. That's just on the Japanese side. I'm also excited about Sergio Belu coming from Brazil. Dude, he's an incredible rider that all of us know. We also have some riders from Spain. Some AM riders from Finland are coming down. Excited about the AM riders from Mexico coming. There's representation all over the world, and I'm really excited about that. And it's just great for Flatland altogether with what's gone down so far. I can't even imagine what June the 1st is going to be like.
So as you can see on the site, the classes are full, 25 for AM, 40 for Pro, and you had to cut that off. And a 40 rider Pro class, just how often do you see that?
I think the most we've ever had at Voodoo, and I don't know what year it was, I think it was maybe like 26. So I got to be honest, if I didn't cut it off, I think we would have 50. So, the last time I heard of big numbers like that might have been like the Masters a few years back when I emceed, like maybe in like '08. It was a massive amount as well, So, yeah, man, you don't hear of that often, and especially in the States, and it's a wonderful opportunity for Flatland BMX.
Well, Voodoo Jam is, it's a premier event. It's one of those bucket list events for any Flatlander. It's not your full-time job. You've got a job and a family. What motivates you to keep doing this?
I guess the motivation for Voodoo Jam is certainly one of actual love for riding my bike. A lot of things come to me when I'm riding with my headphones on by myself, ideas for Voodoo Jam, and that's where the motivation comes from. I ride, so I feel a sense of responsibility for Flatland, that I can do something to help and bring my sport to the forefront and show people what it can be. And I mean, my motivation really comes from riding, man. That's really where it's at, dude. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, it's not about me like being the MC. It's not about like it being in New Orleans. I mean, like really, man. When you get down to the bottom of it, my motivation for a Voodoo Jam is because I ride, and that's the truth.
Well, I can't let you go without putting you on the spot. You've got 40 riders in the pro class to choose from. Who can you come up with any favorites? Who do you think might grab a podium spot?
Man, look, you all put me on the spot, but I will tell you, I am very excited about Satome coming from Japan. That dude is on fire. And if you guys would watch Alex Schumlin ride like I do every day, he's lighting it up right now. The things that he's doing on his bike is so difficult and so hard, because I ride with him, so I see it all the time, and I mean, of course, man, just the stuff Uchi does is just, it's breathtaking. It's speechless, I mean, just those three riders, just to start off in my brain, just like I'm not even looking at the list right now. And I mean, Vicky's coming, you got Terry here, and then you got Matthias, and I mean, all these really great riders. Hiro Morisaki's coming. I mean, Hiro killed it at the Circle of Balance. I mean, what's he gonna do at Voodoo? So, and he's been a Voodoo before a couple of times. I mean, so there's so many great riders to mention and name. I mean, I feel like I'm leaving somebody out. I mean, I really do. I feel bad right now, but there's just so many really good riders. I mean, Dominic, defending champion, let's not forget about him. I mean, my boy's coming with, fist up and he's ready to roll. So I mean, each one of these riders are my friends, and I just wish them all the best of luck, and I will do my best to represent them all,
Well, thanks very much for the interview. Thanks for doing Voodoo Jam, and we look forward to seeing you the weekend of June 1st in New Orleans.
Man, thank you guys very much, and thanks to all my bros out there supporting the event. Thanks to Terry Adams for everything he does, and we can't wait to see you guys at Voodoo Jam.
So thanks, Scott. That was fun, and I do look forward to your antics at the contest. I think all the hard work you put into it is going to pay off. It's going to be the best contest of the year for sure. But speaking of contests, hot off the heels of Voodoo Jam, the next weekend, in fact, June 8th, is another contest that you're going to. You're going to ride in.
Allegedly.
You're going to ride in. And it's a contest with a twist. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's an 80s style inspired contest that Kevin Robinson is doing back in Providence, and it's based off of the old contest we rode in the 80s, where there's two 8-foot tall, 8-foot wide quarter pipes and like a wedge ramp or a kick turn ramp, and then there's going to be a flatland class as well. So there's going to be veteran flatland and veteran ramps, and he did them as an invite thing. So apparently. I guess Ron Wilkerson's coming out, and Volker, and maybe Blyther, and a couple other guys. Joe Johnson, who's from that area. So yeah, I'm going to ride in the flatland part of it. But
do you are you planning your routine 80s style?
Well,
you wear leathers?
I wish I still had some leathers that fit, but that ain't happening. I don't know. I guess you can kind of mix it up trick wise. So I don't know. Most of my tricks are really like more 90s era, so I'll probably do a little of everything, but
cool.
Should be interesting. It'll be fun, if nothing else. It'll just be kind of old style.
I mean, there's a hell of a lot of nice tricks invented in the 80s, so you're not going to hurt for tricks.
I love that era, and I think it'll just be fun to kind of go back to that mentality.
So that was June 8th?
June 8th in East Providence, Rhode Island, I believe. And there's a Facebook page. It's just Wisdom to Youth Contest.
So go on Facebook and search Wisdom to Youth Contest. At the very least, to see all that group of guys together again is awesome. It's like another old school reunion.
Yeah.
Like East Coast style.
And there'll be some East Coast guys there that don't get to the other ones. And I think for kids it'll be neat just to see where that stuff came from.
Well, if you recall, the arena had quarter pipes at each side with about 100 or 200 feet of flat bottom.
Metal in between. Yeah, so I think that's how it's going to be set up. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know if most of us probably can't even pedal that far anymore. Right. So it's going to be tough. But
run out of gas.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that was awesome. I think if you've got a 1-2 punch of a Voodoo Jam and then an old school inspired contest, that's going to be a pretty happening June. So look forward to web edits from both of those contests. Mm-hmm. I definitely appreciate you co-hosting this
Yeah, thanks.
episode. Thanks for doing that. Once again, my name is Anthony Bouillon,
I'm Jared Sowney.
and this was FlatWeb TV.